3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is a quorum these days?
Half of 13.
So Chris is coming on.
6.5. Okay.
He's coming.
So 7. Yeah, we have a quorum. Okay. I'll call the meeting to order. You can start recording, Vicki. All right, the recording button came on. That's very cool. The first order of business, as always, is to approve the minutes from the last meeting. So they are entered in for consideration. If there's any discussion, corrections, comments, notes, hearing none.
I have some corrections. The heading should say board minutes instead of agenda. Julie offered some minor edits, spelling corrections to the arts and culture section. I think that was pretty much it. And Carol Hageman was present and I didn't have her name. So those are the changes.
Okay. So do we have a consensus to accept the minutes with those amendments?
Aye.
All righty. Yes, lots of nodding.
Aye. Yes.
Okay. We have minutes. All right, on to the first item on the agenda, which is Vicki's report.
Okay, so we did the story crafters. I think you've all got a copy of my report anyways, but maybe I'll just highlight a few things. And the story crafters was we were the bravest library, they said, in Columbia County. The only one that's held an outside event. And I think we had 9 kids and 16 adults. And Dale was there. Yay! That was nice. It was really good. I was sort of sorry that I didn't see more of us, but anyways, more of us. What am I saying? You know. Okay, so oh darn it.
Gives me a lift now. Jack be nimble and Jack be quick. Jack was in trouble, he was in it. When Jack got home from the market, there was one of those seeds. What'd you give to my cow? Mama, I got beans. You got what? Beans, Mama, beans with magic inside. Jack, go to your room if you value out the window, but while they were sleeping, one of the beans sprouted and it started a creeping. When they woke up in the morning, they could hardly speak. There was a beanstalk so tall it grew next week. So Jack climbed up. It was a wrestle and a hassle, but he went hand over hand until he came to a castle.
That's pretty wild.
I love it.
That was great.
Very fun.
Thanks.
They were on top of our new risers too, which we grabbed from PS21.
Yes.
That's
thanks,
great.
Mark. Yep. That was really nice to have them up like that. Mark and Matt set them all up, took them all down, put them away. You know, we're
I always
perfect.
wanted to be a roadie.
Do we need a thank you note to PS21 for that or not?
We bought them. That was the plan. Originally, we were going to buy, so we bought 2 of them.
Good.
Yeah, 3 of us.
I think it was a good value. I think, right? At $100, is that what they were?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's a pretty good value. It looked like expensive stuff.
Real hard, real strong. So, go ahead.
I don't know, maybe Dale, should I drop a thanks for helping make arrangements to Judy Staber and whomever at PS21?
Yeah, so I took Judy over there and we met with, I'll have to ask her. It was a young guy that works at PS21 who kind of connected us for the whole thing because we bought them originally for the basement. So they're really for the lower level. We're just using them now for this. But yeah, let me get the name from Judy. But I mean, we did buy them. But yeah, they definitely gave us a deal for sure.
All right, I'll just say, you know, thanks for working with us on the risers. Appreciate it.
Yeah, let me get the name from Judy.
Okay, terrific.
We have another opportunity for a program, which is next week, either Thursday or Friday. I guess we hadn't really canceled this one. It's Michael O'Gray, where is his name? Anyways, I was wondering if anybody here would be willing to go. I did it last year. It was wonderful, wonderful. And he is still willing to come out and do this program. I mean, which is, we're not going to do anything inside here. He'll talk about, it's a dark moon. So he'll talk about things on the moon that you can see with binoculars. You have to bring your own. And then he has a telescope. I mean, this lovely big telescope that he'll set up. And I actually, as I say, saw the rings of Saturn. I mean, it was just astounding, just unbelievable. So I've sent out a few emails, just a few. I didn't send one to you, Dale, but here you are right here. I mean, anybody who wanted to come, we'd keep it a very small group. And you saw, I would send you, he's going to do masks and everything. We do it over in the field. So I don't know if we have enough to do it. I mean, he's got to have at least, 2 people to do it.
I'll come.
You will?
I'll come, yeah.
I think Robin would like that too. She's really interested in that.
Yeah, I might come, Vicki, we'll see. Possible.
Do they keep, do we have to look in the one telescope? Do you have to sanitize it before each person?
I didn't understand the whole thing you said. Broke up a little.
I was wondering if we're looking through one telescope, how do you sanitize it between each person?
He will sanitize the eyepiece. I mean, you could certainly do it with an alcohol wipe or I don't know. But he knows what he's doing, and there's only one telescope. I mean, it's as big as my arms around, really. It was a huge.
What time would it be, Vicki?
Oh, it's got to be 9 o'clock at least. It's got to be dark.
Okay, can I bring Spencer?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Does
I
it
got
have to-
What's the date again?
The 20th, which is Thursday, or Friday is a rain date. Christy, you want to think about it?
Yeah, we'll probably try to make it.
Really? Good. I mean, it would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Is it 9 o'clock, Vicki? August 20th at 9?
I really would have to just send you an email.
Something like that, though. Okay.
I think it's dark
Yeah.
at 9, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's dark by 9 now.
Yeah,
It's been getting
yeah.
dark early.
Yeah, so he'd have to have enough light to set up the telescope. And I have to put some wood down or a piece of plywood or something, I think, just to put it underneath on the hay bale.
Okay.
Last year when we did it, the power was out in North Chatham, so we could stand right on the cement, but we won't have that this year, will we?
Do you need help setting it up, Vicki?
Oh, he'll do that. All I need is to get a piece of plywood out there. I'll get
Okay.
somebody to.
All right.
The stage would be real nice, but that's too much work, isn't it?
It's not
To
that
get it
bad.
out in the field.
Well, somebody's got to take it back in the dark. That kind of stinks.
No, you'd leave it there till the next day. They've already mowed that whole field. They did it last week. So if there's anybody driving out there, I don't care if they run into it, and they shouldn't be out there. All right, anyways, thank Connor. Oh,
That sounds terrific, Vicki. If it's Thursday night, I can't make it. If it's Friday night, I could.
well, if it rains, will be Friday. Otherwise, it'll be Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, it's a town board meeting night, so, okay.
So we have been, as far as the library goes, it's slow but steady. There's no Dottie here.
Nope. She let me know that she wasn't going to be here.
Well, we've increased our hours, and I was wanting to highlight for her that one of the objectives on our strategic plan was to have some more daytime hours versus
Yes.
nighttime. And so with those all change, it seemed like a good time to do it. And so we're going for Mondays. Right now, we're going at 12 o'clock on Mondays, 12 to 7. The other days are written in there too. 2 to 7 Tuesday and Thursday. Actually, that's going to switch to Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday will be 4 to 7, and Saturday, 11 to 2. But this, you know, it gives more opportunity for people to pick up books. We're slow, we are steady, that's what we are.
What changes are we gonna have to make with these new hours on any marketing materials? Or are they temporary, or are you thinking this is permanent? Like, should we be thinking about how to redo the sign in the front of the library?
I was thinking about covering up that part of the sign or just putting something out there. I'd like to give it a shot for a while to see how it's working. I mean, part of the reason it works is because we're doing less business.
Yeah,
So, you know,
yeah.
people in here. And so I think I should at least cover it over probably. But those are the hours I'm going to put on the website, advertise.
I don't think you need to worry about the sign out front.
Okay.
Quite honestly, you're adding hours, not taking them away, so.
Well,
If any,
a little different.
I was gonna say, if anything, maybe it'd be worth it to devote the small, you know, the sandwich board sign to saying, hey, we have new hours or new, you asked for it, whatever, you know, kind of, I don't know. You don't want to do all those letters, but you know what I mean? Because people do read that and they might not know that they have more hours to work with.
I was thinking about staples. I mean, for $20, I can get a small sign that has the hours on it, you know, and just put it in there. And then if we change those hours, we've only invested $20.
I can trot over the old 200-pound sandwich board again and use that for a while.
Everyone loves that one so much.
People will notice that it's new, so that's something that helps.
I was thinking of a smaller one.
I'm glad to bring it over. Take it out of storage if you want to use it.
Thanks.
Oh, that's your goal.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
moving on, Vicki, thank you.
Okay, so we're still trying to be a larger part of the community and serve more people's needs. And we've been discussing with Rick and with the volunteers and paid staff how we could safely allow 2 people in here at once to, and that no more than that, 2 people in here at once to browse. And I think Mark might report on a HEPA filter.
Okay, I just want to be clear. I don't want to negotiate this in a full board meeting. So if need be, I'll come back to the executive committee. If you have any strong feelings, you can email me directly about allowing people to browse in 15-minute increments. Okay, thanks, Vicki.
Thank you, thank you. So I think everything in there is pretty straightforward. Besides that, marketing committee, MailChimp is going to change a little bit. Isaac says we should be only putting out 2 or 3 things on it, not these long things that I have about upcoming programs or other services. So we're going to go with his recommendations and try that for a while. So expect to hear or expect to see more MailChimp coming out, and there'll be program and then there'll be maybe services or something.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me too.
Does it?
Yeah, if I can scroll through an email at a red light, that's perfect.
Whoa. Put your phone down, dude.
It's on the you know, what do you call that thing that holds it? The phone holder.
Okay.
Well, that makes it better.
Yeah, yeah.
And look how big the font is. I mean, it's gigantic.
I don't know how you do that.
But anyway,
No, it's not.
my font isn't gigantic.
No. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. So the Columbia County Library Association is another one that Kim has done 2 books for us, and that's really wonderful. I just haven't got the, anyways, that's wonderful. Columbia County Library Association is also looking to do a collaborative play reading. And, you know, I'm not good on video. The camera doesn't like me and I don't like the camera. So this is really something where I need to have other people step up to do things.
You look good tonight, Vicki. You look very good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wear this all the time.
Absolutely.
So anyways, I'd really like to have some other people. Kim is good if you're willing to do it.
Always willing to do it. It's almost sad how willing I am to do it.
That's cool.
That is cool. And I will be willing when I end up having time. At the moment, I'm too busy, but as it goes on, I would be interested.
I think that this is a continuing kind of thing where the Library Association wants to work together on some other stuff. So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Any other questions about this stuff that I put in the report?
I just wanted to know, well, because you talked about business being slow but steady, but the plan for dealing with curbside stuff and all of that, is it working?
Yeah, yes.
Wow. Yay.
I think overall, as I say, the whole system stuff is down about 30%. So there's a whole segment of the population we're not really reaching, but we are. I mean, somebody said to me, are you open? Oh, at the Story Crafters. We are open. We've been open right along. It's just you can't get a physical book. You know, we've spent a lot of money on electronic books, a lot of services out there. That's where we're at.
Towards that end, Vicki, when you and Isaac start designing shorter emails that go out more often, I think that programs, and when you talk about services, one of the services you should always have in those blasts are the electronic resources available. Books, newspapers, movies, all of that.
Mhm.
I think that is a tremendous resource that is completely underutilized across the entire system. So not just us.
And yet,
Some of the other libraries have had press releases out talking about what they are offering online.
Sure.
I'm thinking that's something that we should be doing too. Plus the fact that we have the computer in the little library, that's terrific. You know, that's self-isolating. It's great, but it's only people who are patrons and who happen to open our webpage, which makes a fairly small amount of people who are reading.
but we have it on the sandwich board now, right now outside when there wasn't something else going on. And the announcement about all those services was really put out as a joint library association to go to the paper. So it was all of the libraries, all of us together are offering this.
But Carol was talking specifically about the computer in the little library being just a quick hit, a quick PR piece to Columbia Paper.
And then you could also mention these other things, because I'm continually running into people who don't know about Overdrive.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So I'll make a note to follow up with you on that.
Okay. Andrea Williams contacted me. Now that you probably might remember, she's the principal of the primary school. We were
Which primary school?
the little one, the little kids.
Are you talking about Ichabod Crane or New Lebanon?
Oh no, Ichabod Crane.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't forget, there are other primary schools around that aren't Ichabod.
Oh, that's right, right. Okay, ICC. And we were supposed to have 2 of the kindergartner classes come in this fall and go through. And I suppose that's partly what she wants to talk about. I'm hoping we can do a video, or I don't know, we'll see what she has. Kinderhook is not open as far as I know. Maybe it did, but.
I don't think Ichabod's going to be doing any field trips. I listened to a
Not
thing
till
online last night, so,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So I suppose that's what she wants to talk about. Maybe other things. We did collaborate at the end of last year. As you remember, Kim was our tortoise, no, review that in the thing that the librarian, Miss Alana Moss.
Yep.
Alrighty,
That's where we are.
that sounds good.
Yeah, Vicky, I would be willing to talk to you also about things I've thought of that through our programming we might offer to the school. So that's a separate conversation you and I can have. But let's talk before you talk to her.
Okay, it was supposed to be today and then it got canceled because of a district meeting. So it will be early next week.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thanks, Julie. Thank you. Anything else? Thanks to Brian for being here on Mondays. He's coming in Mondays, 12 to 2, and he really does. He whips through things. He's such a quick learner. You know, he can handle anything here.
That's
He
great.
enjoyed it.
How's our new assistant working out?
Fine. Yeah, it's much more of a relief to me to have somebody else here that's, responsible, or that I can push some stuff off onto, even if I'm still training and doing that sort of thing. It's just, my desk is becoming cleared off, and that doesn't mean I don't have things to do, but at least I can put things.
It's all right, I'm in the middle of a library board meeting, so I step away.
I like him. I think he's turning out.
Great.
Yeah. I hope he stays.
Yeah, I can do that. Yep.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you said that he
No, I'm gonna stop by later.
stay for a year.
No, yeah.
That's what I read in last month's minutes,
Yes, he said he'd stay for a year.
which is great.
That way I had to have that commitment first. It's so much work,
Yeah.
And he likes libraries. He likes poetry in particular.
Ah,
Yeah. You got to unmute yourself. I don't think I can do it now.
I got it.
Thank you.
Christy, we've got a finance committee report bulleted out here. I am gonna go to Key Bank tomorrow. I swear under God I am. I'm gonna put a sticky on the back door and one on my windshield.
All right, that sounds good. So that's the second bullet that's in the agenda for tonight. Essentially, we just have 2 additional accounts still sitting at KeyBank that are quite old and have had no activity for quite some time. So KeyBank sent us another set of letters saying, hey, you've got to do something with these or we're going to send them to unclaimed funds. So we're going to be withdrawing those funds and putting them into our Bank of Greene County main accounts, which is similar to what we did with 2 other accounts that we had at KeyBank that we went through this with back earlier in the year. So
It's Rick, excuse me, Christy, Rick are the funds and close the account.
I'm going to close the accounts, yes.
Yep.
Why were
Tomorrow.
they there?
All of our accounts, once upon a time, were at First Niagara, the bank in Valatia, on the route, just past the roundabout. That was purchased by Key Bank, and so we had a bunch of CDs with Key Bank at that point. We moved a bunch of them a while back at Ann Marshall's suggestion, and I think it was a good idea, to the Bank of Greene County. I think it's a much more solicitous bank. And yeah, so these are the last 2 accounts that got left behind the Key, and they're just, is it that they're maturing or just inactivity?
They matured quite a long time ago, and so now it's just inactivity. We're still getting interest on them, but it's 4 cents a month. It's really low. We'll get more interest on them just having them sitting in our Bank of Greene County accounts. So they matured and then have sat. earning
Yeah,
just
it's,
like.
yeah. We're going to change that.
Yep.
So, all right.
The only other item I had on for finance is 2021 budgeting is upon us. So believe it or not, we have gotten almost, 7 and a couple weeks through 7 months and a couple weeks through 2020, and we have to start looking forward to 2021. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that I'm going to start reaching out for some budget assumptions and information for next year. Some of it's probably going to be a little bit hard to plan for because we don't know what we don't know, but we'll just have to give it our best try going into next year.
Yeah, hopefully, we'll get this fundraising letter out right after Labor Day. And then, which actually means I should be working hard on a draft and figuring out the production. But so hopefully we will have enough returns on that appeal letter so that by the time we're getting closer to December, we'll know how to make whatever adjustments necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully figuring out how to spend more money.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
You all set, Christy?
That's it. That's all I had for tonight. Short and sweet.
All right, perfect. Any questions for Christy before we move on? All right. So the next item here is the 414, and the news in front of you is now dated and inoperable or inoperant. And that is because the governor's office neglected to check the state constitution on ballot initiatives. And there is a 90-day filing period in the state constitution that the executive order ran a cropper of. So you'd still need to do the normal number of signatures, blah, 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 file in the same number of days, which we're coming up. Actually, you know what? Frick it, we're below 90 days. So Rebecca and Mid-Hudson and some people from the New York State Library Association are lobbying and holding out hope that the governor's office will issue an executive order allowing 414 ballot approval by a vote of the board of the library, not through a ballot initiative. Seems a very long shot to me. So I did prime the executive committee that if the governor does execute that executive order and allows us to vote to do the 414 without collecting the signatures, this board is going to have a decision in front of it that, is going to take some serious mulling over. The circumstances don't seem great for it in any case. So even with allowing it by board vote, so we'll just wait and see. We may not have a decision to make. So if there's no executive order, we're already past the 90 days. We can't even file on time. So, ta-da, solve that. All right, fundraising committee. I have news. Kim was very mean to me and resigned. She just upped and resigned, left me sitting there without a fundraiser chair. And the good news is I had a meeting with Dale already set up. And so I'm pleased to announce that Dale is the new chair of the fundraiser committee.
Hey.
So
That's exactly how it happened.
Just like that.
actually, yeah, pretty much. What was it? Dale, I forwarded you that email and I was in your kitchen, 3 days later?
Yes. True.
I'm not messing around, man. All right. Dale, Kim, any fare thee wells? And Dale, any welcome aboards?
Thank you, Kim, for your service, and thank you, Dale, for stepping up to the plate.
Kim, by the way, is not like escaping. I mean, there's still a little, a little bit of a connection here, so don't worry.
I will put in just as much effort as I have been.
You've been very honest. I said that today. I love the honesty. Regardless, I still am looking forward to all of it. So we've got a lot to do, which is exciting.
Yes, you do.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So that was 414 in fundraising, and I got to keep opening my phone up to go back to the agenda. Okay. The marketing committee, Dottie sent me notes. Essentially, we are waiting on Isaac to come back to us. We had a very productive meeting with Isaac, Vicky, myself, and Dottie. MailChimp seems to be in a better place since then. And we're getting ready to launch the new website. So, I don't want to just launch it willy-nilly. I want to see it first. I want all of you to see it first. And then I want to talk about what's the best way to drop this thing, because it's really good looking and highly functional. So, and then we've asked Isaac, we took the, woof, woof, woof. We took the marketing plan that Maria Cosenza put together for us in 2016, which was 16 pages of cut and paste. So I went through it with Dottie, I went through it with Isaac, we chopped all the non-essentials out, left the essentials in, beefed them up a little bit here and there, and I asked Isaac to come back to us with a proposal for implementing the parts of the marketing plan that are up his alley, and then offer us whatever training we would need for the rest of it. So he's going to get back to us on that. And hopefully we will have a much higher functioning marketing effort going forward. So more ambitious, more out there, a cleaner, crisper look, all of those marketing sort of thingies, madingies. So, all right, Building and Grounds Committee. Mark, we still have a building, we still have grounds.
We do. We do. Let's see. Okay, so I've received estimates for the fence project. I think we discussed that. Jim sounds like he wants a fence, possibly complete from the existing one all the way to the back. We have an estimate for that, for 152 feet, which is 4,900, and just a section in the back, which is what I thought we were going to do initially, just to parallel the new parking. That's 64 lineal feet, and that's 2,100. And we are in discussion, Rick is having discussion with Jim to sort of suss out what he wants at this point. It may be a hybrid of some plantings in the middle that Rick is also working on. So stay tuned. I'm sure there'll be a fence in the back. I guess the debate will be, is there a fence in that middle no man's land, or do we plant there to have to give him whatever privacy he feels he needs? Do you have anything to add to that, Rick, from your side of that equation?
I do. I went to, I think a lot of you know her, or some of you know her, as Ingrid Benson. She's a landscape architect. She works for New York State DEC, Environmental Conservation. And I asked her to come up with a couple of landscaping plans for the DeAngelis' side of the property, which is part of our original agreement with them. So she's working on that. I asked her to, part of that is to show us how she could use low-level shrubbery between the little library, the driveway, and then the DeAngelis's, as opposed to one long fence, which I think is really aesthetically unpleasing. I mean, it's just this long line, takes your eye all the way to the back of the property immediately. Anyway, so Ingrid Kalafny is going to come back with 2 or 3 proposals. You know, I'm sure it'll be just like an architect does. It'll be, you know, designs on paper for the DeAngelis's to look at, and we'll take it from there. I did ask Ingrid told me it would cost between $1,500 and $2,000. I got approval from the executive committee to engage with her for up to the $1,500. If it's more than that, I'll have to come back to the executive committee. So, and it might be because, you know, the original ask did not include the middle section. So, all right. Oh, and I've requested another meeting with the planning board. Cindy's not on the call, but another meeting with the planning board to get the lot line adjustment approved, and then we're just going to take it straight down to the county. The last time, the old planning board that we worked with, they asked us to stipulate before we filed that we would show that it was clear of a lien. Well, we couldn't, and so we missed the deadline for filing with the county. Long and short of it is this time I'm just going to ask them not to do the stipulation, and we'll file with the county. All right.
Rick,
So-
wait, can you explain the stipulation again? Is that something I should put in the minutes?
No,
Okay, thanks.
no, just that, you know, we have some work to do between Chatham planning and county planning to get the lot line adjustment approved and mapped.
Is that
Okay.
it is that it on that, Rick?
Yeah, that's it. That's it on that. Do you want to mention?
Okay. I do have a,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Vicky mentioned HEPA, but we're also talking about UV. So why don't you just give the board a quick update on those two
Yeah.
things?
That's where I was going.
Great.
Next week, I have a meeting scheduled with a representative from Long Oil. They handle our heating and cooling needs over there. There's a piece of equipment that they're installing. It's made by Aerus, A-E-R-U-S, if you'd like to look it up. It's called an air scrubber. It looks somewhat promising. We'll know a lot more after I speak with them. They've been bolting, these things bolt onto the existing plenum, so that's the beauty of it. It works by UV light and some form of photocatalyst to sort of kill the bad things that pass it. It sounds intriguing. The technology was initially created by NASA. I think they're probably selling them like hotcakes now. But I'll know much more after we talk to him. But if the cost is right and it can work, like it potentially they claim it to, it might be a good thing to help us out in that building.
Yeah. Well, I think finding an answer to that is the real key to any reopening besides scheduled 15-minute single-person browsings with a mask on the entire time they're browsing. So if we can't recirculate the air in the library, without knowing that it's COVID-free, I just don't think we can open the library. So.
Rick, once we know, by December, I'm going to have to be writing our new grants. And, if that's something we need to open, that would be very compelling funding. And I could probably do that in addition to what we already do. So if we decide to go forward, the sooner I know and some numbers, the better.
Okay.
That would be awesome, Carol.
You should know.
I'm guessing, but I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think you're right.
People are not going to be thrilled with ELEC under this difficult time, so I don't want to give it up. But if I can combine it with something like this, I might be able to get us both. So just be sure I'm kept informed with that.
Okay. Yep. All right. Anything else for us, Mark?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay. Julie, you're up.
All right. Let's see. I'll just mention a few of these things here. Doing the programs by Zoom has been an interesting experience. So you don't get the back and, you don't have the joy of being in an audience and meeting the presenter. But at our last session, we did have 34 computers that were signed up. I mean, that weren't just signed up, but that joined in. And again, they were from all over. I expect the same thing to happen on Sunday. So I want to remind you all, our neighbor, Kim Sykes, is doing a program with her Girl Be Heard called Citizen Be Heard this Sunday. And we're going to do a practice session tomorrow. But two of the young women, these are people, young women interested in combining activism and theater. And they've each written their own pieces, and two of the young women will be on the program so that we can have a talk back after we see these videos that each person created, having something to do with citizenship and civic engagement and current issues. So that's been kind of interesting, is this idea that we can serve the local community, but also be reaching out to others. I attended a seminar yesterday for people who want to apply this coming year, and we'll be required to make a proposal, and if it involves live interaction, to have a backup plan for COVID-19. They also did mention that there will be some funding available to help with upgrading equipment if we need it for these kinds of online sessions. So I want you, Vicki, to be thinking about that. And if you could give me some ideas of what we might need technically that would make sense, then we could discuss that and see what the board thinks. And Dale's friend Tor Seidler is going to be doing a program. He was going to be in October, but it turns out this year we can also postpone things. He's had a lot of things going on personally. So we are going to postpone that and go beyond the year for one of our deck things. So I'll write to you, Christy, and let you know what's happening with the funding. And we're going to have a meeting with the program committee coming up. So I think that's basically it. But Vicki, I want to mention on the website, I think we need to figure out some way for people who are interested in signing up for the Zoom to really understand how to do that. I've gotten questions from people. Right now, in the description of Kim's event, it's not obvious that they should contact the library to get the Zoom code. So I think going forward, we need to figure out just a standard way of having that in bold letters so people understand. But as I understand it, people don't have to sign up in advance. If I give them the code, they'll get in. Okay, so we'll figure that one out, but things are moving along.
Yay, Julie.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. And you've got a meeting next Wednesday?
Yep, we do, in the backyard at the library, weather permitting.
All right, perfect. All right, Carol.
Okay, last two times I, reported on our programs. We're all set. I guess I have a big question for us. Most of them are going to be on Zoom. two, as I've written them, we're saying will either be live, depending on the situation, or on Zoom. And I reserve the Tri-Village Fire Department on the assumption they'll be open. And these are for late October and November dates. And I'm wondering if we want to do that, or we should just, it'll still be a library function. And I don't want to even ask them to go further if we, the library, decide we don't want to have live programs. So, you know, the space at Tri-Village is big enough, we could socially distance, and we could limit it to the number that will be 6 feet apart or not. But this is a big decision for us.
Yeah, it is.
Before I give Kim a flyer that says it will either be live or Zoom, I'd like to know if live is even an option.
Carol, one of the things that's coming out now is the fact that because it's transferred by aerosol, unless they have a system like Mark is talking about, a UV system, it is dangerous because the virus can be transferred through the air in a large space.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
they thought, and to hang in the air for 3 hours.
So to that point, yeah, Carol, there's way too many moving parts here to, you know, be definitive about this. But I'm having a hard time seeing it. Now, I will say this about Tri-Village. Their building's a lot newer than ours, so all of their ducts are probably newer than ours, and they're not necessarily buried in the walls like ours are. So they may be able to get away with HEPA filters and not UV, but they would have to have done something and tested it, quite honestly.
Well, I'm willing to give up the live programs rather than make ourselves crazy. You know,
So in terms of marketing it, you can say most likely Zoom if we're super lucky in person.
right.
I mean, you know,
That's
why
kind
not-
of what
why
I
not just
have
be
now.
direct?
Yeah. So unfortunately, it's the two programs early in the year rather than later in the year. These are the most interactive, and both speakers are going, ooh, you know, I really don't want to do it this way. All right, I'm ready to go with you, Kim. I've got all my programs scheduled. You know, so when I meet with you and Julie, we'll be ready to proceed on that. And
Cool.
I'm also meeting with Dale on fundraising. I don't know if you have the whole committee or not, but you told us I have a fundraising idea. Dale, I hear, has a similar fundraising idea, so we'll be getting together on that.
Good, good, perfect. All right. And by the way, I've given Dale free rein to recruit to that committee. So all I've offered is my help if he requests it. But he's got free rein to recruit onto that committee. And one of the things I'd really like to do is make, if we can, you know, times they are changing. If we can keep some level of engagement with the Crestview folks, Liz, I would love that. I just love that we have this little nook in Chatham that is just, you know, head over heels in supporting the library. So I don't know what the turnover is like up there these days. I know you and Linda are still there, but.
Well, yeah, I'm still there and Linda's still there. I've talked to there's some new people. Maybe they'd be interested.
Yeah.
They seem nice.
Okay.
But Diane will be going.
Is her house on the under contract again?
I don't know if it's quite under. It says pending. So they have somebody interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Liz,
right.
wait, hold on, Rick. Liz, with the new people, you should at least suggest that they become, you know, library patrons. I think maybe
Yeah.
as part of our marketing plan, we really should think about when new people move in the area.
Yeah, I have to contact them anyway. I've run into them a couple of times out on the street, but they seem very nice. And one is a retired teacher. He just retired, and the other one was still teaching. I don't know. She teaches at a private school. I don't know what she's doing in the school. but I'll contact them. See if I can get them to join us.
Terrific. That's fabulous. I've always loved that. I always thought that was a special thing for us. All right.
Yeah, good for me too. To
Yeah.
work with my neighbors, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It makes it fun and you get to know people.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you, Liz. On the strategic plan, Dottie has suggested that we pick them back up meeting by meeting in October. I don't know why, but that was on a voicemail she left me. So I think there's a couple of things that we know we've checked off. Vicki just mentioned one to me today. So, changing the hours. So, but I think we really need to go through that document, goal by goal, and decide if we need to make adjustments, if we need to be, more realistic, more ambitious, go in a different direction. So that should happen. This is a document that should not go completely stale on us, become, useless. We put a lot of work into getting it right. So, okay. Nominating and governance, I already made that announcement with Dale coming off of leave and right into fundraiser chair. So, all at one fell swoop. And, we need some new board members. And, there's a couple of people out there that I should continue to talk about and follow up with. But I'd love to see another person from Chatham Center. I've got someone in mind from Malden Bridge. Even Old Chatham would be great, because a lot of Old Chatham is actually in our district because it's in the New Lebanon School District. So we don't have an Old Chathamite on board, and I think that'd be great. So everybody put your thinking caps on, keep your eyes and ears open, and we'll get them. It's just a matter of time and effort. All right.
I'm thinking about the other board I'm on, and that we're beginning to try not to recruit people directly to the board, but to be sure they've served on a committee or done some specific service. Like, for example, Judy State, she's on that committee. But, some people who've done something for us instead of in the past, with actually been very lucky, said, oh, here you are, join the board. And I'm kind of thinking we're getting sophisticated enough not to do that. Even if it's a very short time, you get a good idea from 1 or 2 meetings what people are like, and then we move them on. I think it makes a stronger board that way.
Yeah, so that's always been the hope, is that the committees we set up would kick up board candidates. But, things keep happening. Like Lindy from Crestview is absolutely fabuloso on the marketing committee. But she was like, yeah, no, I don't want to join the board. I'm happy on marketing. So, and there's been plenty of that. So I think for somebody who's never had board or nonprofit service, a committee is a great way to go first. I think if somebody comes with, board or nonprofit experience or interactions with boards, I don't want to, in other words, I don't want to put
you don't want to preclude somebody, but
yeah,
just a thought.
Yep. Thank you, Carol. It's a good. I thought so. Yeah, shut up. She thought it was a good idea.
Great, she's on the board.
Any new business before we adjourn? All right, then I hereby adjourn the first August board meeting that I can remember in about a decade. All right, everybody, see you on September 10th, if I don't see you around the hood.
Bye.
Dale, it's nice to see you back.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.